Hi, welcome to The Writing Engineer. Most of you are writing stuff, whether it be short stories, novellas, novels, flash fiction, or something else. And usually when we finish a story, there are conflicting emotions. There can be relief, joy, fear, elation, pride, you name it. I'm not here to put a damper on your wonderful feelings or even exacerbate any terrible feelings that you might have. But here's the thing. You're only half done. Wait, what? I'm only half done? I just wrote 120,000 words of an epic fantasy. What do you mean I'm only half done? Yep, half done. There's something else that you actually need, now more than ever. An editor. Editors are your best friend. Well, next to that little notebook for ideas that you keep on you at all times, right? You do have that, right? Editors are here to make your story better. Really, they are. And what makes them think that they can make your story better? I mean, you wrote the thing, right? You know all about it. You know all the characters. You know everything that's supposed to happen. What makes them think that they can make your story better? Well, for starters, they don't care about you. I know that sounds harsh, but they also don't care about your story. And that's really a good thing. Because you pay an editor to tell you not what's necessarily wrong with your story, but what you can do or fix to make it better. So what about my title screen? Editors go local. Sounds like I'm making an advertisement for a fruit stand or something like that, right? Well, the thing is, that's my personal suggestion. If you can find an editor that's in your neighborhood, then I believe that that is a plus. My first editor, and yes, I did say my first editor, for Amara's Law was located very close by, no more than 25 miles away. And when she finished looking at my story, I had tons of questions about what she had written. She had written 20 pages of stuff, comments about my story and things that were good and things that were bad, and I just had a ton of questions. So what did we do? We met for lunch, and we talked, and talked, and talked some more. I asked about the things that I had questions on. She clarified things that she had made comments on, and I made a few clarifications that made her change some of the comments that she had already made. We wouldn't have had that if we had tried to do this by Skype or email or something like that. There's just something better about meeting someone in person and having a good, honest discussion about what it is that you have questions on. There isn't really any way that you could do that if you live in, say, Baltimore, Maryland, and your editor lives in San Francisco, California. Well, not unless you have more free time and resources than I have. That's why I think when you look for an editor, you should try and find someone local. And by local for me, that means around 45 minutes of a drive. Maybe 60 if I'm feeling really adventurous. For you, that might be a little bit different. That might be 20 minutes, it might be an hour and a half. That all really depends on what you consider local. Now, this might have to be tailored depending on where you live in the United States. So we have a fairly large country, and there are large swaths of open land that are just not populated by too many people. But chances are, if you live within driving distance of a large city, you're gonna find a thriving group of editors. And probably some scattered out in the boonies because the internet is a wonderful thing. The editors don't have to make a mass migration to New York City or to the West Coast to find jobs anymore. They can find jobs right where they are. And that's where you come in. It may take a bit more searching to find the editor that is just right for you, but it's worth it. And you know what? You might even make their day. I found my second editor when I was asked to speak at a local writers group about the self-publishing experience that my writers group had just gone through. I had asked them who they had hired to edit their particular manuscript There was about 12 authors, and they had hired a local person, and I was interested in seeing if they could go through and do a line edit for my manuscript. Well, I got in contact with that editor. She didn't have any time available, so she got me in contact with one of her other editor friends, and they did have some time. They read my story, and they absolutely loved it. They thought it was great. They had a fun time working with my story and with me. And the best part is that my final editor also knew a book cover designer, who I'm talking with right now. We see how this works? Going local is actually a really good thing, not for just produce, but also for writing. Well, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the content, and if you did, please click the like button below, and don't forget to subscribe on your way out. If you'd like to be notified immediately when I put up a new video, please click the notification bell. As always, I'll leave my contact information below for my website, my Twitter handle, and my Facebook page. Thank you very much, and have a good evening.